Kathie Owen here, and welcome to my YouTube channel where I talk about transforming your life and magic fashion. Today's video is going to be a presentation of my webinar from Having a Bad Day, Revise It. And without further ado, let's go. Hello, Kathie Owen here, and I am giving the webinar on Having a Bad Day, Revise It. And welcome. Let's get started. Real quickly, think about a garden or plants or just working in the yard. Why do we weed our plants? More specifically, why do we cut the leaves and the branches on our trees? This is very relevant to what we're going to talk about today. So who am I to be discussing this? My name is Kathie Owen. I'm the founder of the Silver Wellness Academy, and I have been a fitness trainer since 2002. I am also a certified transformation coach, and fitness and transformation go hand in hand. Worked with it all these years. I like to say I've been delighting healthy and happy hearts since 2002. Here's some discussion points we're going to talk about today. And this webinar will only take 15 to 20 minutes. I like them quick, easy, straight to the point. So what happens when we prune our garden? Use that for thought, analogy. Well, we make space for more, better, higher quality things. This in turn raises our vibration. I'm going to talk about how to exactly rewrite a situation and when to do it, and why rewriting a situation may not work at first. Try it on the small stuff first, and remember, slow and steady wins the race. We'll end with a Q&A, and I will also give you a link to the presentation as well. So why do we prune our gardens? Why do we trim our trees? Well, when you prune your tree or garden or plant, it may hurt a little at first, but notice how it makes room for more, better, higher quality branches, gardens, and leaves. The plant, tree, bush just looks healthier when it's been trimmed. So when you do not prune, you miss out on so much. So when you're not pruning all these weeds, you're missing out. Understand these 3 points. Point number 1, you're making room for higher quality, better things in your life when you prune out the weeds or the bad thoughts. Point number 2, when you raise your vibration, things just look differently. And point number 3, it takes time. I mean, look at the plants, look at the trees. It takes time before it grows and becomes more of a plant, more healthy. Okay, so it does take time. Just remember that. Solution number 1. You're making room for more. Like I said, you're making room for better. A lot of times when I'm coaching a client, they want something like they really, really want it badly. And when they do, they're not making room for more or better. They're leaving that out of the process. But just like with plants, when you practice what Neville Goddard calls the pruning shears of revision, and this is a link to his document on that. You're making room for more, better, higher quality things to fill you. But the question is how and why, and how exactly does that process work? Well, when you come to solution number 2, you're raising your vibration. Notice how on this scale of consciousness, that's exactly what this is. This is the scale of consciousness by Dr. David Hawkins and Power versus Force. He taught us about this. So notice in the bottom of these, you have anger, desire, fear, grief, pride. Desire is one of those things that will block you from having the power. So the desire was somebody wants something so bad that they're not going to get it until they get into the power reasonings. So how do you do that? You revise your thinking. That's exactly what we're talking about today. So look at these levels of consciousness, look at force and look at power. Let's go with anger for one of the emotions, because that's a very common emotion that people feel. When you feel anger, it's hard to get to a place of acceptance. It's a harder place to get to reason because you're stuck in a force type consciousness. So you can't force things to happen. It's better to allow it to happen with power. And that's where revision comes into play. Solution number 3. Take your time and be patient. So you want to take your time with the process and trust the process. It's not going to happen overnight. Just like with your plants, your trees and gardens, they don't just grow overnight. It takes time. So you've got to trust the process and be patient. And this is where a lot of people just give up and give in. But go back to your power versus force. What are you doing? Are you forcing it? Are you allowing power to take control? So when Neville Goddard taught us the pruning shears of revision, he said that the best time to do that, if you've had a bad day, is to rewrite your day in detail at bedtime. When you do that, you want to work with it long enough until you actually feel like what you wanted to happen happens. Now, this is not going to happen right away because of the patience thing, because of the levels of consciousness. But we also need to reprogram our subconscious mind. So your subconscious mind takes everything literally. If you tell your subconscious mind that the sky is green, it's going to believe that. It's going to look for ways to prove that the sky is green. So if you're telling your subconscious mind, I'm so pissed at that person, I'm just angry, then guess what? The subconscious mind takes it literally and will turn everything upside down. Why does subconscious reprogramming work best at night? Well, it's because you're becoming drowsy. But before I talk about that, I want to talk about how to reprogram the subconscious mind. And there are several different methods. So journaling is one, audio reprogramming, affirmations in that audio reprogramming. Record yourself talking and listen to it later when you're drowsy. Revision, just rewriting the whole entire argument. Hypnosis. They're just a few ways to reprogram your mind. And revision works best when you are drowsy or when your brain is in theta waves. So you can listen to music with 432 to 528 megahertz. And it's best to do this to reprogram our subconscious mind. And I have a link to the playlist of 432 megahertz that I listen to on Spotify. And it's great to just help you calm the mind. So your brain revises best at bedtime or when your brain is in theta. What is theta? It's not just a letter in the Greek alphabet. No, they use the Greek alphabet to describe different wavelengths of your brain. So gamma is when you're engaged in certain motor functions like something you do every day, driving your car, working out, taking a walk, those kind of things that your brain is just functioning on autopilot. Beta is when you're fully conscious and actively concentrating. So it could be when you're studying something or you're learning something new and you're focusing greatly on what you're looking at. Alpha is when you are relaxed or getting ready for bed. And theta is when you're drowsy or lightly sleeping. So that right there is the best time to reprogram your mind and use those methods that I spoke about a moment ago. And delta is when you are in deep sleep. So what are the improvements you see when you start using revision? When you revise a relationship issue, the other person picks up on it subconsciously, and then they respond to you differently. For example, when I get in an argument with my boyfriend, I try my best to start to picture him in a positive light. I picture him in a positive environment that he likes to do. When his personality is at his best, I picture his laugh that I just love about him. And when I do that, it not only pulls me out of anger, it takes me up on the levels of consciousness, but it also, he picks up on it subconsciously because I'm not so resentful and angry anymore. So I've come up here and he's going to come up here too because he's picking up on it subconsciously. So improvement number 2, your vibration is higher and you're working at a whole different level. It's just like I said in improvement number 1. When your vibration is higher, people pick up on it subconsciously, whether you realize it, they realize it or not, they're going to pick up on the fact that you are in power instead of in force. And improvement number 3, change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. This has been proven in science, and it's also been proven in quantum physics. So when you look at something, if you really look at it and you try to look at it differently with power, it's going to look totally different. So if you think about it, if you're looking at something from an aspect of reason as opposed to anger, anger is not going to reason with anybody. It's only going to be in force, and it's going to force its opinion on top of everybody else. So let's discuss the ways the Silver Wellness Academy can help you. Join my email list. There's going to be a link in the description below. And in my email list, I give away a ton of content. One of the things I like to do is Monday motivation, because I find that motivation is one of the biggest hindrances towards improving your wellness in general. So I try to start my week off with a great motivation, and I share that with my clients. On Tuesday, I send out a fitness tip. It could be anything like tomorrow's is going to be on balance and how to improve your balance. Next week is going to be on the hip band. So I have so much content that I give every week to help you, and that's for free. So, and I also have so much more. I'm about to launch a free course on next Monday, actually. And this course is going to be 5 simple steps to building a good habit. Why am I teaching this course? Well, I find with a lot of my clients, they fall off the wagon. They come up with excuses or things like that. And when you build a habit, it's harder to fall off the wagon, and you're just building and building and building. So I'm teaching in a simple way, and it's really, really easy. So you pick one habit you'd like to improve on, and I'll walk you step by step with a simple process to creating a new habit. Everybody can benefit from this. And you can use this method over and over and over again for any habit you're trying to create and sustain. So it'll transform your life in magic fashion. So this is coming on Monday. It's going to launch on Monday, and it'll be there for a lifetime. And it's also has bonuses in there where I check in with you. They say it takes 66 days to truly build a habit. So I'll check in with you for several different times throughout that period and see where you're at on building a good habit. But it's going to be simple and easy. And the Silver Wellness Academy community. I have a community and that's online, and for a limited time it is free. It will be costing pretty soon, so you better lock it in right now. But there'll be motivational tips. There'll be, the thing I like about this is on my platform. By being on my platform, you're not having to go onto Facebook and have distractions around you or pulling you off of the site. No, you have everything right there in front of you. And depending on what your goals are, what you want to look at, you can go through there. And it'll also be a community where we can support one another and just transform our lives in magic fashion. So the Silver Wellness Academy is courses, it's coaching, it's community and content. Everything is all about looking to improve your overall wellness in mind, body, and spirit. That's my webinar for today. If you have any questions, be sure to fill out the assessment, because there's many places where you can answer, ask me any questions you may want to ask, as well as I ask you some questions about what you're going through, how I can help you. And by your answers to the assessment, I will be able to help provide you with more tips and tricks and just transform your life in magic fashion. That's my video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, I'll see you next time.